All right, so get ready. We're about to take a deep dive into the world of entrepreneurship with Daniel Priestley, a guy who's not only built some seriously successful businesses, multiple, but he's also helped like tons of other people do the same.
It's wild, right?
Okay.
How he breaks it all down, all those like complicated entrepreneur things, makes it so simple, step by step. And he's not just talking theory either.
No.
It's all like real world stuff, tactics, from his own experience.
Yeah, and from, all the people he's mentored.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's just jump right in.
Let's do it.
One of the things that really, jumped out at me was how he approaches validating business ideas.
Oh, yeah.
He's all about testing demand early on, like before you even,
go all in.
before you go all in.
Yeah.
Your heart, your soul, your savings into something that might not even have a market.
Totally. He talks about like failing fast and failing cheap.
Failing fast.
Yeah.
Failing cheap.
And one of the most like ingenious things he suggests is using a waiting list.
A waiting list. I usually think of those for, concert tickets or,
Yeah, like limited edition sneakers, that kind of thing.
Not necessarily launching a business.
Exactly. But that's what's so smart about it.
Right.
Priestley's argument is that a waiting list, it like creates a sense of anticipation.
Oh, yeah.
And scarcity. And that just like totally ramps up the desire for your product or service.
So it's like a psychological hack almost.
Totally.
You're building buzz before you even officially launch.
Think about it. Elon Musk, Tesla, brilliant strategy. Pre-orders for those electric cars, they didn't just validate demand.
Yeah.
They created this like feeling of, oh, this is exclusive, this is exciting.
I see. So it's like a built-in market research tool.
Built in.
You're gauging interest and you're getting people invested before you even have like a finished product.
Exactly. And you can apply this to all sorts of businesses, right? Say you're thinking about doing an online course.
Okay, yeah.
Instead of spending months creating the whole thing and then just hoping that people sign up, you could start by building a waiting list.
Oh, that's interesting. So you could, offer like a sneak peek of the content.
Yeah.
Maybe share some testimonials from some early testers.
Absolutely.
Maybe even like offer a discount to those who sign up early.
Yeah, why not?
That would not only validate the idea,
Totally.
but give you that, really valuable feedback before you even finalize the course.
And it plays into that whole psychology of scarcity, right?
Oh, okay.
When something feels limited or exclusive, people they want it more.
Oh, it's like those limited time offers.
Yes.
You see them everywhere. Creating a sense of urgency, like you're going to miss out.
Right. Get act now.
Have you ever jumped on one of those offers? I know I have.
Of course. Of course. We all fall for it.
Right.
Think about Glastonbury. Tickets sell out in minutes, right?
Yeah.
Even though nobody even knows the lineup yet.
That's true.
That scarcity,
yeah.
It drives the demand.
So it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Totally.
The harder something is to get,
the more people want it.
So for you, what really stands out about this waiting list approach?
I just think it's so simple,
yeah,
but so powerful.
Yeah.
It's about testing the waters before you, jump in head first.
Right.
And it's not just validating demand, it's creating a buzz.
Right.
It's building anticipation, it's getting people excited about what you're building.
So it feels like it's a great way to minimize risk.
Absolutely.
But then also maximize impact.
Totally.
Instead of pouring all your resources into something that's unproven.
Yeah.
You're gathering that data.
Yeah.
You're refining your concept.
Yeah.
You're building a community of early adopters.
Yeah.
Who are invested in your success.
From day one.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Okay, let's shift gears a little bit. Let's talk about another really key insight from Priestley. And it's the idea of aligning your business with your life story.
Oh, interesting.
I've always been a little bit skeptical of the whole, follow your passion advice.
Right.
It feels a little simplistic, like it's overlooking the practical realities of actually building a business.
Priestley brings a different take to that, I think.
Yeah.
A bit more nuanced. He argues that it's not just about chasing some abstract feeling,
right,
but it's about tapping into deeper motivations and experiences, the things that have shaped you,
He talks about the alignment of origin, mission, and vision.
He actually shares his own origin story, it's pretty amazing.
It is, and he credits a childhood house fire with sparking his entrepreneurial journey.
Wow.
Which is, kind of wild.
That's turning a potentially devastating experience into a catalyst for growth.
That's exactly it.
And the fact that, he took salvaged belongings, turned them into profit through a garage sale.
Yeah.
That just instilled in him this belief in business as a force for good.
It's such a powerful example of how our experiences, even the really challenging ones, can shape our trajectory.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so he emphasizes how important it is to understand your own origin story.
Yeah.
The events, the experiences that have made you who you are.
And then connect those to your mission.
Oh, okay.
Your purpose for building this business. What problem are you solving?
Yeah.
What impact do you want to make?
And then ultimately, your vision.
Vision, right.
Where do you see this business going?
Yeah.
What's the ultimate goal?
It's like weaving it all together, isn't it?
It is.
The past, the present, and those future aspirations into a story that resonates. Not just with you, but, with your audience, your team, even potential investors.
It's about creating a business that feels authentic.
Yes.
And purposeful.
Yeah.
And aligned with your deepest values.
Which raises the question, for you, like, what are the recurring themes that you see in your own life?
That's a good question.
What experiences have really shaped your perspective?
And how can you weave those experiences into the fabric of your business?
How can your story become like the driving force, the compelling narrative that attracts not just customers, but talent, investors, people who believe in what you're building?
Yeah, that's powerful. Now, you can't talk about entrepreneurship without talking about mindset.
Mindset, absolutely.
And Priestley, he outlines these three primary mindsets: reptile, autopilot, and visionary.
Okay.
So the reptile mindset, that's all driven by fear and scarcity.
It's reactive, right?
Yeah.
Like the world's against you.
Yeah,
And it can be so destructive.
Yeah, it can be.
And then you've got like autopilot, which sounds a bit more like, just coasting along.
Yeah, sticking with what's familiar.
Sticking with what's familiar, even if it's not really serving you anymore.
It's that comfort zone, right?
It is.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it mentality.
Exactly. And while that can give you like some stability, it often just leads to like stagnation and missed opportunities.
And then there's the visionary mindset.
That's the one.
This is one we want.
This is the one we want to cultivate.
Yeah, the visionary mindset. It's all about seeing possibilities, thinking long-term, feeling abundant, and attracting resources.
It's about stepping outside of those limitations of fear and routine, and embracing something bolder, something more expansive.
He shares a great story about getting a parking ticket.
Oh, yeah.
And how the reptile mindset would just like spiraled, floating meltdown.
Yeah.
Whereas the visionary, just sees it as a minor inconvenience.
It's a blip.
A blip. Solvable challenge.
Exactly.
And it's a perfect example of how our mindset shapes our reality.
Totally. The reptile sees obstacles, the visionary sees opportunity. So for you, the question is, are you stuck in reptile mode?
Right.
Or autopilot?
Yeah.
How can you shift to that visionary perspective?
It feels like a lot of it just comes down to self-awareness.
Self-awareness, absolutely.
Recognizing those limiting beliefs and those thought patterns.
Those thought patterns, yeah.
That might be holding us back.
It's about challenging them, reframing your perspective, and choosing to see the possibilities, not just the problems.
Okay, so we've covered, testing ideas.
Testing ideas, yeah.
Aligning with our life story.
Yeah.
And cultivating that visionary mindset. What's next?
Well, communication, I think, is a big one for him.
Okay.
Specifically, the art of making compelling asks. He believes that success often comes down to our ability to communicate our vision and enroll other people in it.
He even encourages us to think of ourselves as salespeople.
Yeah.
Which, might sound a little daunting to some people.
But it's not about being pushy or manipulative.
Right.
It's about articulating your value proposition in a way that resonates with your target audience.
Okay.
And inspires them to take action.
He talks about the power of with or without you energy.
Yeah.
Which is so interesting. It's about demonstrating, that you're moving forward.
Yeah.
With or without their participation.
Right.
But you're offering them the opportunity to be part of something exciting.
Exactly.
He shares this great story about securing, thousands of pounds worth of camera equipment around Samsung simply by asking.
Simply by asking.
He saw a problem they had. All these return cameras just sitting in a warehouse.
Gathering dust.
Gathering dust.
Yeah.
And he offered a solution.
A win-win.
A win-win.
Yeah.
You know, using the cameras to film content for his website.
Yeah.
Giving them exposure in return.
It's a brilliant example, I think, of how a simple ask framed the right way in a way that benefits everybody can lead to like unexpected opportunities.
He also talks about the importance of being a key person of influence.
Oh, yeah.
You
He
know?
has a whole book on that, right?
Yeah.
He argues that becoming a key person of influence is about building a reputation, you know, for your expertise,
Right.
your generosity, and a unique perspective.
So it's about becoming someone, you know, whose name comes up in conversations.
Yeah.
Who attracts opportunities and resources.
So like building a personal brand, establishing yourself as a thought leader in your field.
Yeah. And he outlines 5 key pillars for achieving this, you know, pitch, publish, product, profile, and partnerships. I'm
curious to hear more about those.
I am too.
But maybe we can take a moment just to like reflect on what we've covered so far.
Yeah.
It's like it's more than just launching a product or service, isn't it?
It is. It really feels like it.
It's about understanding yourself, your story, your strengths, your values.
It's about aligning your business with your purpose and creating something that feels authentic and meaningful.
Yeah.
It's about challenging conventional wisdom, testing assumptions. And embracing, you know, that mindset of abundance and possibility.
Absolutely.
And it's about building relationships.
Yeah.
Communicating effectively. And becoming a key person of influence in your field.
So before we move on to those 5 pillars, you know, take a moment to think about what's resonated with you so far.
Yeah.
What's one thing you could actually implement today
Right.
to move your own entrepreneurial journey forward?
That's a great question.
Welcome back.
All right, so
Before we jump into those 5 pillars of becoming a key person of influence, let's just quickly recap, you know, why this is such a crucial concept in Priestley's framework.
Right. We did touch on it a bit before the break.
We did, yeah.
But I'm still curious to really understand what it means, you know, to be a key person of influence.
Right.
It sounds a bit intimidating, to be honest.
I get it.
Yeah.
But Priestley really emphasizes that it's not about becoming some kind of celebrity or, you know, a guru.
Okay. Yeah.
It's about building a reputation for expertise, generosity, and having a unique perspective in your field.
So it's more about becoming like a go-to person, someone people trust and respect for their knowledge and insights.
Exactly. It's about becoming that person who just naturally attracts opportunities.
Okay.
Because you've positioned yourself as a valuable resource.
Okay.
You know, it's having your name come up in conversations.
Yeah.
When people are looking for solutions or seeking like expert advice.
That makes sense. So it's about building that credibility, that authority over time. So that people they naturally think of you.
They think of you
when they need what you offer.
Exactly.
Okay. So Priestley breaks down this, you know, seemingly complex goal into these 5 actionable pillars.
5 pillars.
Pitch, publish, product profile, and partnerships.
Let's start with pitch.
Okay.
No, it's not just about like that elevator pitch, you know, that we've all heard about.
It seems like it goes a little deeper than that.
It does.
Yeah.
Priestley, he sees pitching as this ongoing process.
Okay.
Of communicating your value and enrolling people in your vision.
So you're constantly refining your message, your story, your value proposition.
Absolutely.
And then sharing them with the world in a way that really compels people to take action. Now, he shares this really helpful acronym for crafting a compelling pitch.
Oh, an acronym. Okay.
Capstone. I love a good acronym. I do.
What does it stand for?
It stands for clarity, authority, problem solution, the why, opportunity, next steps, and essence.
Wow. Okay.
And you can apply this framework to any pitch. Whether you're, you know, presenting to investors, talking to a potential client, even trying to convince a friend to try a new restaurant.
I love that.
It's a great little checklist to make sure you're hitting all the key points.
Gentle checklist.
And thinking about, you know, clarity is the first step. Just makes so much sense.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I've definitely heard pitches that were just all over the place.
Yeah,
I walked away confused.
absolutely. Clarity is paramount. You have to be able to explain your idea in a way that's easily understood and memorable.
And memorable. And authority is important, too. People are much more likely to listen to someone who has a proven track record.
Okay.
Or some demonstrable expertise.
So you need to establish that credibility up front.
Up front, yep. Yeah.
And then you move on to identifying the problem.
Yep.
Presenting your solution. And then explaining the why behind what you do.
The why, yeah.
You know, what's the driving force? What's the passion that fuels your vision?
The passion, right.
It seems like you're building a narrative.
You are.
You're drawing people in with a compelling story. You're showing them why they should care.
Exactly.
And then you present the opportunity. How can they get involved? What's in it for them?
And then finally, you outline the next steps.
Okay.
And you distill the essence of your pitch.
The essence.
That key takeaway.
What you want them to remember.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a really comprehensive framework.
It is.
I can see how that could be applied to so many different situations.
So many.
All right, so we've got pitch covered. What about publish? Is this all about writing a bestseller?
It could be.
Okay.
It could be, but it's bigger than that. Publishing is about sharing your expertise, your insights with the world through whatever medium you choose. You know, it could be writing blog posts, creating videos, recording a podcast, anything that allows you to establish thought leadership and reach a wider audience.
It seems like there are just so many platforms these days.
There are.
For publishing, it's almost overwhelming. Where do you even begin?
I think the key is to just choose the platforms that work for you, that align with your strengths and your target audience.
Right.
Some people, they excel at writing. Others are more comfortable on camera.
Yeah.
The important thing is to just find what works for you.
Okay.
And then be consistent.
And to create content that genuinely provides value.
Yeah, absolutely.
To your audience. It's not just about self-promotion.
Yeah.
It's about sharing your knowledge. And your insights in a way that actually helps other people.
Helping people, yeah.
So it's about becoming that valuable resource, that person that people look to for information and inspiration.
All right, let's move on to product. Now, I'm guessing this is where we finally start talking about the actual goods and services we offer.
Right. But I'm curious how Priestley approaches this pillar.
Okay.
Does he have any unique insights, into creating products that really stand out in a crowded marketplace?
He does. He talks about the importance of offering premium products or services.
Okay.
And this allows you to position yourself as an expert, command higher prices, and attract a more discerning clientele.
That makes sense. If you're constantly just competing on price,
it's
hard to build a sustainable business.
It is.
And I've definitely noticed that people are willing to pay more, for quality, for expertise.
Absolutely. It's about delivering that exceptional value that justifies the investment.
Now, Priestley, he also encourages entrepreneurs to think beyond just creating a single product or service.
Right.
He talks about building a product ecosystem.
A product ecosystem.
What does that mean? Is it like offering a suite of products that that complement each other?
It's like a ladder of offerings,
okay.
Right?
Okay.
You might have an entry-level product that introduces people to your brand.
Okay.
Then a more comprehensive product for those who are ready to go deeper.
Yeah.
And then a high-end premium offering for those who want the ultimate experience.
So it's about catering to different needs and price points.
Different needs, different price points.
Yeah, within your target market.
Within your target market. Think about online courses. You might have a free introductory course that gives people a taste of your teaching style.
Okay.
Then a paid course that goes into more depth.
Okay.
And then a high-end mastermind group for those who want personalized coaching and support.
That's a great example.
So it's about creating a system that allows people to engage with your brand at different levels depending on their needs and their budget.
All right, let's talk about profile. This is where personal branding comes into play, right?
Personal branding, absolutely.
But what are some of the key elements, of building a strong profile, according to Priestley? Is it all about social media?
It's definitely part of it.
Okay.
But it's not the whole picture.
Okay.
Priestley emphasizes the importance of showing up consistently across different platforms. It's about having a strong online presence, speaking at events, getting featured in the media.
Right.
Anything that increases your visibility and reinforces your expertise.
Yeah. So it's about creating those multiple touch points.
Multiple touch points, yeah.
So that people are encountering your brand in different contexts.
Different contexts, absolutely.
And it's not just about, listing your credentials and accomplishments.
No.
Priestley really emphasizes the importance of telling your story.
Telling your story, yeah.
We talked about that earlier, the idea of weaving those personal experiences into your brand narrative.
Because people connect with stories, don't they? They help us understand who you are, what you believe in, why we should care.
It's about going beyond just the facts and figures.
Yeah.
And sharing the experiences that have shaped your perspective and your approach.
Your story is what makes you unique.
Right.
It's what sets you apart from the competition.
Okay, so we've covered pitch, publish, product, and profile. Last but not least, partnerships.
Partnerships, yeah.
Why are these so crucial for building a successful business?
Well, Priestley, he believes that partnerships are all about leveraging the power of collaboration. It's about finding those individuals or businesses that align with your values and your target market,
right,
and creating those win-win scenarios.
So he encourages entrepreneurs to really view partnerships as a way to expand their reach, tap into new markets, access resources they wouldn't have on their own.
Resources, yep.
And he talks about joint ventures, affiliate marketing, co-creating products or services. There are so many ways to collaborate.
So many ways, yeah.
And he emphasizes the importance of bringing that, that with or without you energy to partnerships as well.
Your partnerships as well, yeah.
It's about demonstrating that you're valuable. That you're bringing something unique to the table.
Unique, yeah.
And you're not desperate for the collaboration.
You're not desperate.
It's about creating those mutually beneficial relationships.
Yeah.
Where both parties feel excited and empowered by the partnership.
Absolutely.
Now, before we move on to some of Priestley's more kind of unconventional strategies, let's pause for a moment.
Okay.
We've covered a lot of ground here with these 5 pillars.
We have.
What stands out to you the most?
What stands out to you?
Yeah. Is there one pillar that you're particularly drawn to?
Yeah.
Or that you feel like you need to focus on in your own endeavors?
It's a lot to take in, but it's exciting, isn't it?
It is. It's exciting.
It's like we've been given a roadmap for building a successful and fulfilling business.
And I'm eager to hear what other surprises Priestley has in store for us.
Well, you won't be disappointed. When we come back, we'll dive into some of his more kind of counterintuitive strategies, including that concept of boring businesses.
Okay.
And how to navigate the ever-evolving world of AI. Stay with us.
Welcome back to the show. We've been taking this deep dive into Daniel Priestley's entrepreneurial playbook, and I have to say, it's been full of some pretty unexpected insights.
It has, hasn't it? Like, I didn't see some of this stuff coming.
No, me neither.
And in this final part, we're going to explore one of his most surprising concepts, which is the idea of finding success through, wait for it, boring businesses.
When I first heard that phrase, I got to be honest, my entrepreneurial instincts, they kind of cringed.
I know, right?
We're so often drawn to those shiny, disruptive ideas.
Right, the ones that promise to revolutionize entire industries.
It's that classic startup myth.
Yeah.
The lone genius in the garage building the next tech unicorn.
Silicon Valley, here we come. But Priestley, he challenges that whole narrative.
Okay.
He sees so much potential in the often overlooked world of traditional businesses.
Right.
Established businesses.
Yeah, he actually encourages aspiring entrepreneurs to consider acquiring existing businesses, particularly those owned by baby boomers who are, getting ready to retire. He calls it vendor sales.
Vendor sales.
And it's a strategy that really seems to go against the grain of what we typically think of as entrepreneurship.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But Priestley's argument is that buying an existing business, even one that might, seem a little boring on the surface, can be a much more strategic path to success.
Okay, I'm intrigued, but I'm also a little skeptical.
I get it.
Help me understand this. Why why would someone choose to, buy a laundromat or a dry cleaning business instead of chasing some groundbreaking new idea?
Think about it this way. When you acquire an existing business, you're inheriting a proven model.
Right.
You're inheriting a customer base, existing revenue streams, infrastructure. It's like you're stepping onto a moving train instead of trying to build one from scratch.
So instead of spending, years building a brand, establishing a reputation, figuring out all the logistics,
all that stuff,
you're essentially like fast-tracking your progress
fast-tracking
by acquiring a business that already has all those things in place.
Already in place. And as Priestley points out, you can often structure these deals in a way that requires like little to no upfront capital.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
How does that work?
You can often finance the acquisition through the business itself.
Oh.
So you propose a payment plan to the seller.
Okay.
And you use future profits to gradually pay for the business over time.
That's incredible. It opens up a whole new world of possibility for people who maybe, don't have access to those traditional funding sources or who want to, minimize their financial risk.
Absolutely.
It really does. And it aligns so well with Priestley's, emphasis on thinking creatively.
Yeah.
Seeing opportunities where others might not, and challenging conventional wisdom.
Challenging that conventional wisdom, yeah.
So let's say, I'm starting to see the appeal of this boring business approach.
Okay.
Where do I even begin?
Good question.
How do I find businesses that are, like ripe for acquisition?
Priestley suggests, targeting businesses in industries that are ripe for disruption.
Okay.
The ones that haven't fully embraced technology or haven't really innovated in years.
He specifically mentions looking for, those baby boomer owned businesses that are looking for an exit strategy.
Looking for an exit makes sense.
It does. Many of these businesses, they've been around for decades.
Yeah.
But the owners, they might be ready to retire, pass the torch to a new generation.
Pass the torch.
And often these businesses have like a really solid foundation.
Yeah.
But they lack the fresh energy.
And
perspective to really take them to that next level.
So the opportunity is bringing your skills and your vision to these businesses.
Right.
Modernizing their operations.
Okay.
Expanding their reach.
Right.
Breathing new life into them.
It's like taking a classic car and restoring it.
Yes.
Adding those modern features while still preserving its original charm.
I love that analogy. It's combining the best of both worlds. You've got the stability, the proven track record of an established business, with the innovation and the energy of a fresh perspective.
Okay, so let's say I've identified a business that seems promising.
Okay.
What are some of the key things I should, look for before I even make an offer?
Due diligence is huge.
Oh, yeah.
You need to really understand the financials, the operations, the customer base, the competitive landscape. You're basically doing a deep dive into the business to assess its health and its potential.
It's like getting a home inspection.
Yes.
Before you buy a house. You want to make sure there aren't any hidden surprises.
No hidden surprises. You're looking for red flags.
Red flags.
But you're also looking for opportunities.
Okay.
What are the strengths?
Wow.
What could be improved?
Okay.
Do you have the skills and the vision to take it to the next level?
He also recommends talking to customers, suppliers, industry experts.
Oh, yeah.
To really get like a well-rounded perspective.
Absolutely.
Gather as much information as possible.
As much as possible.
Before making that decision.
Before jumping in.
This all makes sense.
Yeah.
But, part of the appeal, for me at least, of starting a business is the excitement of building something from scratch.
Yeah, I get that.
Creating your own brand, your own culture.
Yeah.
Does acquiring an existing business allow for that same level of creative freedom?
It can. I really think it can. You're not just buying a business, you're buying a platform for growth.
Oh.
So you have the opportunity to shape the business, infuse it with your own values and your vision, and create a culture that reflects your leadership style.
So it's not about just maintaining the status quo.
No.
It's about bringing your unique perspective.
Your perspective, yeah.
And your irreplaceable contribution to the business.
Absolutely.
You're building upon that solid foundation.
Yeah.
But you're also putting your own stamp on it. You're creating something new while leveraging the strengths of what already exists.
I love that.
Me too. It really shifts the focus from starting from scratch
Yeah.
to building upon a solid foundation. And it makes the entrepreneurial journey feel, I don't know, a little less daunting,
Less daunting, yeah.
a little more
A little
accessible.
more accessible.
Yeah.
And it aligns with Priestley's, overall message of challenging that conventional wisdom,
Yeah.
seeing the opportunities, and finding your unique path to success.
And speaking of challenging conventional wisdom,
Okay.
let's talk about AI.
AI, the big one.
It's the big one.
Yeah.
It's a topic that's impossible to ignore these days.
It is. It's everywhere you turn.
How does Priestley suggest that entrepreneurs navigate this, rapidly evolving landscape?
Well, he sees AI as both a threat and an opportunity.
Okay.
And he emphasizes how important it is to really understand its capabilities, but also its limitations.
Okay.
He encourages entrepreneurs to leverage AI strategically,
Okay.
using it to enhance their businesses,
Right.
while still retaining their uniquely human skills and insights.
He actually formed an AI advisory board
Really?
for his own business to kind of stay ahead of the curve and make sure he was incorporating AI ethically but also effectively.
It's smart, isn't it? We can't just bury our heads in the sand and pretend AI isn't happening.
Right.
We need to be proactive about learning about it, experimenting with it, and figuring out how to use it to our advantage.
And I think it's important to remember that AI is a tool.
It's a tool.
It's not a replacement for human ingenuity, creativity, or empathy.
Exactly. And Priestley, he warns that AI has this potential to make us all like passive consumers,
Okay.
glued to our screens, endlessly scrolling through, personalized content feeds.
So how do we avoid that then?
How do we make sure we're using AI to enhance our lives and our businesses,
Right.
rather than being controlled by it?
Yeah.
Priestley suggests we focus on developing those uniquely human skills.
Okay.
Things like creativity, critical thinking, empathy, communication, the ability to build relationships,
Yeah.
connect with others on a deeper level.
Those are the things AI can't replicate. And those are the things that are becoming increasingly valuable in a world where automation is taking over so many of those routine tasks.
Absolutely.
It's not about rejecting AI. It's about finding that right balance. Yeah, using it as a tool to augment our ability,
Yeah.
freeing up our time and energy to really focus on those things that truly matter.
The things that matter, yeah.
Well, I think we've covered just about everything in Daniel Priestley's entrepreneurial playbook here.
It feels like it.
From testing ideas
By building teams.
to building teams, to mastering the art of the ask, to navigating the world of those boring businesses, to embracing the potential of AI.
He's given us a lot to think about.
He has given us a lot to think about.
And as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to circle back to that question we posed earlier. What is your irreplaceable contribution?
It's a question that's been, weaving its way through our entire conversation, hasn't it?
It has.
In a world where technology is constantly evolving and automation's becoming increasingly sophisticated,
Yeah.
what are the skills, the talents, the perspectives that make you uniquely valuable?
It's not about trying to be everything to everyone. It's about identifying your strengths, your passions, and aligning them with a problem that's worth solving.
Finding that sweet spot.
Yeah, sweet spot. Yeah.
Where your unique abilities intersect with a market need.
It's about owning your expertise, sharing your gifts, and making a real impact on the world.
And once you find that sweet spot, don't be afraid to embrace it.
Embrace it.
To hone your craft, to become the best in the world at what you do.
The best in the world.
It's been an incredible journey, exploring Daniel Priestley's insights with you. It's given me such a fresh perspective on entrepreneurship.
Good.
And it's left me feeling, really inspired and empowered to create something truly remarkable. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
And thank you for being such a curious and engaged listener.
Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep building something extraordinary.